Hi, it's Hans at ahappierman.com. Today's topic is clarify new goals. Well, if you've seen in a few of my other videos, I'm coming to a close of a big goal, and the big goal was to transition between my old life and my new life and help my daughter to do that too. So I moved. So this transition is just basically finishing the move for me and her, both of us. So when you move, you got the old place to finish, and now in the new place to start. So it's not just moving, isn't just taking the stuff from A to B. It's also that's the move, and then the transition is everything else that goes with it. Shutting down the utilities, changing everything that needs to be changed, cleaning the old place, getting it ready for the new people, and however you had agreed to get it ready for them. So that's the transition. So anyway, it's raining over here where I'm at, and I'm on the way to my old place to finalize the transition. And let me tell you, I'm really looking forward to this being done, because it's so, satisfying to finish a big goal. And this will be the fourth big goal I've finished this year. So that's why I feel like I've got a little bit of something to offer on the goals. So getting back to the topic of how to clarify new goals, well, the other day, I've been kind of playing around with trying to figure out what I'm going to be done with this transition. What am I going to do next? Because you always want to be kind of doing. You always want to be doing. So I finally, I was struggling because I was mostly intent on finishing this transition, and there was, let's say, the moving itself was extremely exhausting and extremely tiring and extremely beat up my body, hit my finances, took a lot of mental energy to move, and it's taking quite a bit of energy and time to transition. So I really didn't have a lot of, let's say, time to clarify those new goals. So that is, let's say, the key to clarifying new goals, is to take the time to sit and think about them. You're not going to be able to think of new goals watching TV, watching movies, being distracted with YouTube videos, or listening to music. You basically, I would suggest you just sit in silence with paper and pen and write and think and write, and take whatever time is necessary to get those goals from your mind down onto the paper, where once they're on paper, you can start to work with them. How does this make sense for me? Is this right for me at this time of my life? Is this right for me at this time of the year? Should I start something like this, or should I do something else? Well, you won't know that unless you take the time to actually sit by yourself and think and plan and think, and do it with paper and with a pen and a paper. You might want to go someplace different, like a coffee shop or a library or the park, or someplace that kind of inspires you to sit around with a paper and pen. And I think that's why the coffee shops are a little more popular nowadays, because they're kind of like that. You see most people there, they'll have their computer, they'll have their book, they'll have their pad and their pen and their drink and their snack, and they'll just sit there for an hour or two or longer and think. And that's really the essence of it, is the thinking and the planning and the writing and the noting and the the back and forth with yourself, and how you clarify them. And it takes time. It just, when you're real busy with life, getting up to work at the last minute, racing to get ready, hustling off to work, busting your back all day at work, going home, hustling home, doing all kinds of chores and stuff around the house, and collapsing exhausted at the end of the day. Well, you're not going to be able to set any goals that way. Your mind, it's not just your body that's exhausted, your mind is. You need the time, you need the space, you need things just to come to you. You got to remember what you really want, determine what's right for you, and figure this out, and that's the time. So, like I said, I've been struggling with this because I knew this last big goal that I've set is going to be done here, probably within the next, I would hope, 4 to 6 hours. I hope. If it doesn't, I'm going to be really disappointed and irritated. But anyway, then what do I do? Well, I had time to just sit and think, and I worked out my next 2 goals, and these goals will kind of take me through the next number of months. There's just a lot of things, there's a lot of things within the 2 goals to do for enjoyment, to better my life. So I'm very pleased to have my new goals set, and I'm very excited to start working on them. Can't wait to finish this last goal, this transition goal, so I can get back to working on those new goals. Give that idea some thought. This is how you clarify it. You need the time, and you need the mental energy to work right. And don't be lazy about this. Don't be cheap. Get a paper, get a pen, sit and write and think. Get those ideas down on paper. If you're new to this goal setting idea, start with something small. Start small. You don't always have to set and meet a grand goal. A lot of times, the goals you have will be kind of personal to you, and maybe to other people they won't seem like much, but for you, they might be kind of a dramatic change. If you accomplish even a small goal, it may be a dramatic uptick in your life. So do that, and then you can set a little bit of a deadline on it. Usually people talk in terms of deadlines with goals, so I guess all of my recent goals had somewhat of a deadline, not a firm and a fast deadline, but certainly I expected to accomplish these goals within a number of months. So months, the goals are something that you probably would try to accomplish within a less than a year. And in months, and then maybe your initial goal, if you've never set goals, start out with something you can probably do in a week if you bear down and focus on it. If you're a little bit good at the goals, well, maybe a month or 2. So my next set of the last goals, I had set those with, and it kind of happened about a 2 months. I find 2 months is kind of a reasonable amount of time to get new goals accomplished if the goals are somewhat within your capacity, if you push yourself, and give yourself some latitude, right? You may find, well, I thought it would take me 2 months, it took me only a month. Well, now you can work on that figure out the next goal. Or you may find, ooh, that was really a lot more effort than I thought it would be. It's going to take me 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 months. But if you want it bad enough, you'll say, I'm just going to push through and get this. So, have somewhat of a deadline. Put a reasonable expectation to work toward. That way, you're not tempted to just let it go and put it on the back burner and let everybody else decide what to do. No, you decide. Have somewhat of a deadline that seems right for you. Make sure that those goals are for you, not for other people. Of course, we're told the opposite, do this and that for other people, but that is probably the worst mistake you'd ever make about setting goals. Let them set their own goals, and then you set your goals. Now, that's not to say you don't help other people. Of course you help other people. The people closest to you, the people you work for, whatever you think is necessary to do. Well, yes, you do that. But I'm just saying, your life, your goals. So give those ideas some thought. All for now.